It's a time of change. It's a time of recognition that with climate change and everything, things have to be different than what the last 237 years have been provided. That's our time then to actually make a positive change. So it's all part of this big living being that we're wanting to recognise and activate for the benefit of Nura. So if we can get more back onto the boat, back onto the water, we can teach through the water then. And then we have customers through the various stakeholders, and we can share our knowledges through the water this way.
My name is Camilla Drieberg and I'm the river keeper for the Parramatta River catchment group. The river keeper is the community-facing role, so I work with a really broad community all over the Parramatta River catchment, which is from Blacktown all the way to the inner west and Hunters Hill, and I help facilitate meetings that bring people together and help everyone to share their ideas and their challenges, and then I'll go away and work on solutions. Over the last 10 years, we have been working to unite all the stakeholders we work with under the mission to make the Parramatta River swimmable. The latest swim site to open is Putney in Ryde, and the next one will be Bedlam Bay, which is just around the corner in Gladesville. Swimmability has been an incredible way to bring everyone to the table. It's something tangible, and it's something that contributes to the Parramatta River being just as important as Sydney Harbour. With Western Sydney being 10 degrees hotter than the coast, it's really important that the residents of Western Sydney have different options. Not everyone has the time or the money to go all the way to the beach. We actually have done a survey. Would people rather go to a swim site at the river if it took them half the time and if the parking was free, for example? And that had really good results. So that was an important bit of data that helped us to drive this master plan, which is the last 10 years that we've been working on, and we've just come to the end of that. And through those 10 years now, we have 6 swim sites that have opened. So now we're about to start working on our next master plan.
My name's Richard O'Brien from City of Parramatta Council. I'm the Supervisor for Natural Areas. My background in bush regeneration is extensive, about 15 years of experience. Some of the biggest challenges in protecting the Parramatta River and its ecosystems, the waterways going into it, stormwater runoff can have a lot of nutrients and pollution. We just had a lot of rain recently, and just coming here today, I could see a lot of the litter that had come through the stormwater runoff. Other challenges are exotic weeds. So that's my foundation, being a bush regenerator years ago and managing natural area restoration contractors now is managing exotic weed infestations and ensuring that we're conserving natural bushland. Community engagement and education is a big challenge also. We want to continue educating young generations to understand that we want to conserve and preserve these areas, especially along the waterways.
So one of the projects we have is our iconic species, which are 5 animal mascots that were voted on by the community. So the species are the bar-tailed godwit, the long-necked turtle, the southern myotis, the powerful owl, and the striped marsh frog. And we've also set up citizen science apps for each of these animals, which engage the community by getting people to record information about them. And then over time, we can measure how the species are going and the efforts of protecting their habitat.
There has been some great examples recently of where we've conserved bushland in high active areas, a lot of exposure to the public. George Kendall Riverside Park, it's a great example. The state government did a Parks for People initiative where we opened culverts that were water running underground to the river and established a new wetland there. And the mangroves there are a good example of natural areas that are being preserved in a high active area. There are a shared cycleway, playgrounds, and some baseball, soccer field facility. Just last week I was down there and saw all the birds are there from Homebush actually. So that new wetland is really working. So that's a really good example, I feel, of where a lot of recreational areas and conservation effort overlap.
My name's Roger Atwater. I'm Director of Environmental Sustainability here at Western Sydney University. We're here this morning with the Student Environmental Collective as an Earth Day event, picking up rubbish both from tidal influence in Parramatta River and what flows down the creek here in Vineyard Creek, which is a magnificent remnant of natural and cultural significance on the Parramatta campus.
My name is Rowan, and I'm a member of the Environment Collective. This is an area where there's so much wildlife living, little crabs, birds, brush turkeys, eels, frogs. And so I think where we've got these little bits of habitat for biodiversity, these little hotspots, we really need to do all we can to keep them as a good environment.
It's all about getting out the knowledge and the practices of what people can do, small practical things. People cleaning up rubbish in areas like this also gives people the opportunity to experience the natural assets of this area and learn more about the history of the site and reflect upon resilience of these sorts of areas, urban biodiversity areas, in areas where there have been very significant and long-term impacts over the development of Sydney. The best we can do is walk the talk ourselves.
What message would I give to visitors to the Parramatta River? Leave with what you came with. Today we've got so much expendable packaging and you see it everywhere, unfortunately. We should really respect the land and treat it well, and understanding and appreciating what it is, that innate beauty that nature gives to everyone.
As you can see, it's pretty polluted. It's really important. One thing I've noticed just in this little corner alone is that everything has been here for so long that it has broken down into tiny, tiny, tiny little bits of plastic. And so, people might think, well, it's just one bit of plastic, but actually then it becomes a million bits of plastic. And, I've disturbed crabs here. There are little mangroves trying to grow here. It's really important to clean up areas like this.
And for me, I just personally want the social kind of stigma to change. I don't think waterways should be degraded, rubbish kits like they are in cities. Like, we can live in a city and have a clean waterway.
The place looks fantastic, and I come down here often and I'm not prepared to be able to do much, but it shows a few hands and you can get plenty done.